Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is REGANELITE here with another episode of the Snowflake Watch, episode 13 on the 1st of May 2024 at 8 PM UK time, where we cover a variety of videos and clips and from online on Twitter and give our reactions to them. Hello to everyone on both. We are live dual streaming on YouTube and on Twitch. Hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Just gonna put a pin into this. For those who were there at the PMQs, I was perfectly fine. I was okay. Leaving the last 2 hours, I've not been feeling well at all, and I actually seriously contemplated not live streaming tonight. Simply because I have a massive migraine. And only in the last half an hour have I taken paracetamol to help combat it. So understandably, I still wanted to do the live stream. I still wanted to give something for you guys tonight. But please be aware, I'm not 100%. Chances of me kicking and screaming which I know some of you guys really like. I'm probably not going to be doing that tonight. So yeah, a good night's sleep and I will be fine the next day, guys. Honestly, but the gang is here. The gang is here. But yeah, I'm feeling a little bit rough at the moment, guys. I honestly don't know where this migraine came, but it's literally come up in the last few hours, and it's kind of just like out of nowhere. And I've only taken paracetamol like 20-30 minutes ago. I've already gone through 1 bottle of water, so I've only got 1 left. But yeah, today will probably not, I intend to stop. I might even only do 40 minutes, but we'll see how it goes, But you guys, I hope you guys are all doing well anyway. In all seriousness, I know someone else wasn't feeling 100% today in the chat there. No live YouTube chat poll. I haven't updated the live stream either because I've been trying to put myself together. Akismag, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Stephen Banker, good to see you there. Hope you're doing well. Billy Kershaw, calling out with the flu. Must be on the mend because I'm boshed. I hope you feel better, Billy. Joe Lefty is here as well. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Stephen Banker. Jao is here. Good to see you, Jao. Hope you're doing well. Alistair Keir is here. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. So, yeah. Thanks for those who are here and said hello. Apologies. No live YouTube chat poll either. Again, not feeling great right now, guys. Simon says 55. Good to see you there, buddy, as well. And thanks for popping in on the PMQs as well earlier. I didn't get to say hello to you either. So let's dive into some of the topics we're going to cover today. So I'm going to cover a variety. Obviously, I've got clips on I've got some clips on Rwanda and Gaza. I don't know why, but there's not enough stories around the local elections coming up tomorrow. I don't know why. On Twitter, I don't know why. Literally, I'm using hashtags and whatnot, and I can't find anywhere near enough stories for the local elections tomorrow. I mean, it should be a big bloody deal, and I can't find anything. And it's I expected to have quite a lot about the local election, even maybe something from Sky News, but I did find something actually. I did find one video on one video for you guys on the London mayoral election at least. I saw this one earlier. It was a hilarious one. So a nice bit of a funny but not so funny one for the Susan Hall, Conservative Party mayoral candidate, and why you should cast your vote for her.
London, our city, is at a crossroads. A crossroads that has nothing to do with 14 years of Conservative government.
We have never had it so good.
It's time for a saviour. It's time for Susan. Get social with Susan and champion your Conservative heroes like Nigel Farage and Donald Trump. Nobody should be made to feel bad about their tweeting.
When I retweet it, I think I liked it. I don't know, this was a long time ago.
So join in and tweet about Prince Harry as much as Susan does. Social cohesion with Susan. Susan supports London communities like banning Notting Hill Carnival.
It's very rude.
Susan has said repeatedly that the black community has a problem with crime.
Especially as white politicians, we are frightened of even saying that. There is an issue with crime in the black community in London.
Splurging with Susan. Susan's difficulties with finances should not concern you.
You don't know what a bus fare is?
No.
Susan has consistently aligned herself with sensible spending policies, such as Liz Truss's budget, the Rwanda policy, and blocking free school meals for primary school children.
That'll teach him, won't it?
Straight talking with Susan. Say it how it is with Susan. Migrants should be kept offshore. We need to move on from slavery. Suella Braverman is a thoroughly good woman. Gary Lineker is far too woke. And finally, Susan with Susan.
When you get to the barrier and suddenly you realise You've been robbed.
Well, I have to tell you, I'm the luckiest woman in the world because I've actually got it back.
You think you could have been the victim of a pickpocketer whose level of incompetence is that they get hold of your wallet and then take nothing from it.
I have no idea.
If you can't be trusted with your wallet, Susan Hall, why can you be trusted with London?
If you would like Susan in charge of London, then please visit www.susanhall.uk and then maybe go for a long walk.
I probably would advise going for that long walk. I don't know who made this. No, it's not AI generated, Jam, but my God. Oh, it's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. I'm sorry, guys, but that is the only video I've got on the local election. Yeah, I just thought it's a nice, funny one there for you guys anyway. So I hope you guys enjoy that. So, oh, that's a lovely video. I'll play it later on as well. This one here, guys. So we're gonna start with. We're gonna kind of go. We'll do Gaza and Rwanda a bit later, but I've got this one here. This one literally just dropped like just about 20-25 minutes ago here. So this is from Politics Hub with Sophie Ridge. Political editor Beth Rigby spent the day with Labour leader Keir Starmer and tells Sophie Ridge that he said no when asked if he would keep the Rwanda scheme. If he elected, he would tackle the criminal gangs.
Beth, what did he have to say to you on Rwanda?
Hi, Sophie. Yeah, I did ask him about Rwanda. I'm here in Harlow because he was in his final campaign rally. They want to win the council from the Conservatives here. But on the matter of Rwanda, I asked him very clearly, are you considering keeping the scheme if you win the next general election until you have returns agreements set up with other countries? Are you going to continue the scheme? And the answer was emphatic. He said, no, I don't think it will work. I don't want to flog a dead horse. I then asked him, will flights stop from day one? He said, from day one, I want to get on with my own scheme. You know, his plan is to try and smash the criminal gangs that are smuggling people across. Not quite as emphatic about the flights will stop, but it was pretty clear from the answer that if he did continue with that scheme in any form, I think that that would be viewed as a U-turn.
I generally hope that I don't like the fact that he's not ruling out. Just for all the new people coming in, this may be a short stream because I'm not feeling 100%. Just remind for all the new people coming in chat. I will say hello to everyone eventually again. So, I mean, he said. I've seen. We'll go to the clip where I might show the clip of him actually saying this, but the fact that he's not saying that he's going to stop the flight straight away, and not emphatically saying that. Why not? Like it's just the moral thing to do to stop it. It just really, really is. I don't know why that's really a hard thing to say on that. But he says he's going to stop the policy. But we've heard hearing things in there, but that the bill will be kept, but the flights won't take off. But I don't like this kind of muddying the waters about how on Labour about around the whole Rwanda thing. I don't like it.
From what he said to me today.
And we heard from Jeremy Hunt a few moments ago saying that he's expecting significant losses for the Conservative Party at the local elections.
That's really bad. So I don't have the clip, but obviously Jeremy Hunt was speaking with Sophie Ridge just recently. And he's expecting the losses tomorrow from the voting from tomorrow's voting. That's really bad when your Chancellor of the Exchequer is saying, "Yeah, we're not going to do very well at the local elections." And I'm just like, "You what? You're supposed to be bigging up your party, and here you are basically saying we're expecting a thumping," and it's just like. Why? What? Like, where's the enthusiasm and whatnot? Why would you say something like that? I just don't get it to me.
Did you get any sense of what a good result for Keir Starmer would be tomorrow?
Well, there was a couple of things, Sophie. If you remember this time 3 years ago, and I'm sure you remember it well, it was when these council elections came up in 2021, similar seats. And back then, Keir Starmer lost the Hartlepool by-election, hundreds of councillors and 8 councils. And I asked him to reflect on 3 years ago, and he said that he did consider resigning. He now says that he feels vindicated that he didn't. He says it's a changed Labour Party. And in terms of what he's looking for in these elections across the country, he just wouldn't put a number on it. I did try. He said he's looking for progress, significant progress. He says he hopes to win the West Mids mayor, but that's on a knife edge. But, you know, Michael Thrasher and our psephologists are saying 350-seat gains is good, but to get into Blair-type territory from 95 and 96 by local elections to what he did in 1997, he's got to be knocking on more seats than that, 400 plus. We had a bit of a knockabout on that, but he wouldn't put numbers on it, but he did reflect on how different the prospects are for him 3 years on. Finally, I did say to him, are you feeling the pressure? And he said he actually feels excited. I'm sure he is feeling the pressure because the weight of expectation is clear.
Yeah, there's no doubt a pressure is feeling on Keir Starmer. I don't know what the numbers are going to be like. Obviously, we'll have to wait and see. It'll take a few days after the local election before we get a clear picture of what it is. It's not going to be a simple case of Friday night we'll know for certain. We'll see some of the results, but by the weekend we'll have a clear picture of what things will look like. But we expect an absolute thrashing of the Conservatives. But where people are going to cast their votes, whether it's going to be Reform, Lib Dem, Greens, or Labour. It's definitely going to be amongst them, that's for sure. There's definitely going to be losses of seats there. This is the clip where he considered quitting.
It really hit me because my job was to turn around the Labour Party and take us from defeat to success. And losing hurts, and it should hurt in politics, because this isn't about me, it's about whether the Labour Party can come back into government and serve working people. So yes, it was a very, very low moment. It required me then to double down and turbocharge the change that we needed in the Labour Party. So in that respect, you know, retrospectively, it was a good thing because it forced that onward pace, but I'm not going to pretend it wasn't a really hard time.
Did you thought about quitting that day?
I did, because I didn't feel that I should be bigger than the party, and that if I couldn't bring about the change, then perhaps there should be a change. But actually, in the end, I reflected on it, talked to very many people, and doubled down and determined, no, it's the change in the Labour Party we need. And I do feel vindicated, because we are now a changed party. Nobody argues with that. They know we're a changed party. And the biggest change is that we're now a party that confidently and proudly says, country first, party second.
Let's hope that's the real case. I know we are very sceptical, and rightly so, about Labour and where they're going to be. But did I not have any more on that? No, I don't. I thought I had one or two more clips, but I don't. But it'll be interesting to see the numbers tomorrow. That is for sure. It's going to be interesting. That's for sure, guys. Let's just have a quick look what you guys are saying in the chat. I'm just going to scroll up to see if I've forgotten to say hello to you. I do apologise. I just remind everyone I've got a very nasty migraine, so this probably won't be a long stream today. So just for those who are coming in, Ben Shaw is here. Good to see you, Ben. Hope you're doing well. Who else is there? Super Tiny 808. Good to see you there, buddy. Hope you're doing well. Alistair Keir, I think I did say hello to you. If I didn't, I apologise. Hope you're doing well. Number 3 is here. Good to see you, number 3. Hope you're doing well. What are you guys saying? Jao saying the EU is considering what it's going to do about the migrant dumping by the UK to Ireland, and the perspectives for the UK are not good. No, it's not. That's not good at all. So the UK has a lot to worry about in the future. Yeah. It will be interesting. Number 3 says 24% 24% of people support the Rwanda policy. I believe 1/4 of the entire population. Well, they're ramming it down people's throats, aren't they? With the right-wing media, is what they're doing. We're going to go to Rwanda next, actually. Heard the deputy here talking about cancelling the TCA, even so it is even that harsh. Naturally, TCA needs a procedure to be cancelled. Just listen to the possibility of being cancelled is enough to put on the warning lights. That's quite a lot there. Billy Cusher said it's easy. When Labour get in, it's going to be a lot more easier to lean on the government. Perhaps a gentler shoulder charge. Points to the reference, says Billy Cushaw. Ian Banker says, sad thing is even when the Tories are kicking out, Labour is going to carry on Tory policies. The fact that some UK politicians were filmed in EU News, I saw it saying Ireland should know, is because of France that this is happening regarding the migrant crisis of the island. It's enraging to a lot of people. It's very enraging for them to make those comments. It really is disgusting, to say the least. Good evening, Matt. Good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. So let's look at Rwanda. So this one literally just dropped. I literally just found this one literally 5 minutes before I actually switched over to you guys, actually. So Sophie Widge is it's on Sophie Widge from Sky News on the Rwanda. It's started. It's literally started.
Hello, good evening. Well, it started. People are being identified and detained. Flights are being scheduled, and the first man has been given £3,000 and sent to Rwanda.
£3,000, just like that. Taxpayer money gone to one person going to Rwanda. £3,000. £3,000. Just one person been given as a gift to go to Rwanda. Ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous, guys.
Now, there are big questions about whether this is a cost-effective policy or a moral one. But the aim of the policy is very clear, to stop the small boats by telling migrants that if they cross the channel and reach the UK, they'll be sent to Rwanda, so they don't want to get on the boat in the first place. And right now, we don't know if it's going to work. Some people might believe they can predict it, but we don't honestly know because we don't have the data. But soon, we will. We'll know if the number of small boat crossings has gone up or down and by how much. And that could have big, big consequences for both Rishi Sunak and Keir Starmer. If it works. If. Will Labour still scrap the policy and risk small boat crossings going up again?
I swear to God, I will be screaming with rage at Labour if they continue this policy. Now, Keir Starmer says he is not going to continue this policy. If this works, yeah, and he sticks with it, his party stick with it, I will be absolutely livid with Labour. I will be absolutely livid with them. It is so immoral and inhumane on so many levels. But even I think that Labour know that the legality of keeping this policy is really not worth it. That's my general hope, is that because of the legal ramifications behind this, the court cases that could come, the fines, potential fines, and the trust that they will have with their international partners. Many nations are expecting an incoming Labour government. Many of those nations will be saying, but behind the backs, they'll be saying to this incoming Prime Minister, which will be Keir Starmer, they will be saying to the shadow cabinet and whatnot, they'll be saying to him, Keir, do not continue this policy. It's not, if you want to build those trusts and relationships with us, you need to scrap this policy for the benefit of not just for the UK, but for relationships with other nations. I generally think there will be those communications behind closed doors. Everyone knows this is a bad policy, and obviously the morals behind it. But I do think there will be some nations behind closed doors will be saying to the Labour Party, because they expect Labour to win. The polls have been in this way for a long time. They expect Labour to win the general election, and they expect Keir Starmer to be the next Prime Minister. And they will be saying that this policy will cost you so much more on the international stage, no matter how good it looks in front of the UK. So we'll have to wait and see, obviously, but I think that's going to be the position. Casper Northern, good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Sato is here, good to see you. Akismag, good to see you again, buddy. But obviously, like Sophie says, we will have to wait and see what the data says.
And what if it doesn't work? What if Rishi Sunak finally gets the flights off the ground and the number of small boats crossings goes up?
Well, if that's the case, like, we're all going to turn around and say, we told you so. That's what everyone's going to turn around and say. We're going to say, we told you so. We told you it was a waste of time. We told you it was a waste of money. We told you it wouldn't work. And that's it.
Where does he go from there? And I have to say, that did get me thinking, because I've been sold on the idea of an autumn or winter election. But if there are record small boat crossings in August, despite Rwanda, well, Rishi Sunak can't launch an election in those circumstances, can he? Wouldn't it be less risky for the PM to go early, before we get the data to prove whether Rwanda is working or not?
Certainly some interesting words from Sophie Ridge there. It really is fascinating, to say the least. That is for sure. This is what she was saying yesterday with regards to it as well. I wanted to play this one because this one was yesterday from Sophie Ridge.
I want to talk to you about migration, because it's been another difficult day of headlines for the government. The government denies losing track of likely Rwanda deportees. The Home Office lost contact with thousands set for Rwanda flight. A document slipped out by the department states that of the 5,700 migrants identified for removal to Rwanda, only 2,145 of them continue to report to the Home Office and can be located for detention.
Now, where do you think they've all gone? Where do you think they've all gone? Why do you think they've gone AWOL? They've gone AWOL, and we know why they've gone AWOL, because they don't want to be sent to Rwanda. They don't want to be sent to Rwanda. Now, look, it's also important to highlight as well, and I think this is a really important point when we're talking about this. The point of this is to act as a deterrent, okay? The point of this Rwanda scheme is to act as a deterrent to stop people crossing, right? That's the whole premise of this, right? Now, unless migrants are told at Calais that this is what's going to happen to them, there's no guarantee that's going to stop them getting on those boats crossing over. It's no guarantee it's going to stop them hiding in trucks and whatnot, trying to cross over, or going. There's no guarantees that it's going to stop them. And there have been footage from certain YouTubers and even journalists and whatnot, and I've said this before, about them talking to them down there on Calais and other places along the European shores, saying that they honestly don't care, that they need to come to the UK, or they want to come to the UK. And the whole point of this is to basically say, if you come, we're going to put you on this plane to Rwanda. And the thing is that, how can I put this? Still got migraine. This is why this is not helping me with the migraine. The thing is that this premise of obviously them coming over and then being shifted to Rwanda goes against everything, the whole battle that they have done, coming from war-torn countries, wherever it is they've come from, to come to here. And it's just, yeah, it's if they know that they're going to get shifted to Rwanda, then obviously the chances of them coming are low, but there is no guarantee. There is no guarantee of that. That's the other thing. So I heard that one refugee was detained with no water or food for a day, investigating pending, says Alistair Q. Well, here, it's disgusting. We're treating them so nasty. Yeah. Billy says, I heard someone mention that the Rwanda exportation only applies to those ending late June 2023. Someone enlightened me. There was some significance in some of the numbers. There may be something truth to that, Billy. But given that I've got a massive migraine, I can't give you a straight answer, I'm afraid. So hopefully someone in the chat can enlighten you on that.
Apparently, the Home Office has, until now, relied on the incentive of free accommodation and a £49 weekly allowance to prevent people from absconding, but officials fear the threat of deportation would outweigh that. You don't have to be a genius to work out that if you know you're about to be put on a flight to Rwanda, you might stop checking in with the Home Office. You might quietly slip away. It's thought that many will then try to make their way to Ireland, where the government says the threat of deportation to Rwanda is causing fearful migrants to head for Ireland instead of the UK, A diplomatic row has also broken out over whether they can be sent back. Now, look, there is an argument that all of this shows the Rwanda plan is working. Purely on the metric of whether the threat of being sent to Rwanda is a deterrent, well, it looks like people may already be changing their behaviour. Success. There are two things that I would add, though. Firstly, it can't be a good thing to see so many vulnerable people simply disappearing, making it much more likely that they'll be exploited, sell their bodies, work illegally, become victims of crime. And of course, the government wants the threat of being sent to Rwanda to act as a deterrent for migrants who are not in the UK, rather than a deterrent for those already here. That's the purpose.
And she's absolutely right. That a part of it is actually working because of obviously it's created that fear and pandemonium for those who are already in England, knowing the very possibility that they could be sent to Rwanda has triggered them to go off the radar. And we've got the row building up over many people who are crossing over to Northern Ireland and crossing the border to Northern Ireland to Ireland just to avoid that. And Ireland has its own migration problem as it is, so that's obviously, and I just feel like a part of me is also like they're trashing our reputation even more in the process. It was already damning enough, but the fact that he's so determined to die on this hill, Rishi Sunak, to make this work, and there's just too many legal ramifications of this. Kimi Bakanock, giving praise to this. I love this from Carol Vorderman saying, Kemi Bakanock, one of the most arrogant politicians of the day. I know somebody who's having a very lonely gap year there. Really gasp. Like, I cannot believe she got the nerve to say this.
This is somebody who's actually volunteered to go to Rwanda, which puts to bed this nonsensical myth that Rwanda was not a safe place. It is. People go on holiday there. I know somebody who's having a very lovely gap year there, and we need to move past a lot of those myths, which are actually just disparaging about an African country.
So apparently, she knows people have actually gone there on nice holidays while there's a possibility of a war about to trigger at any time soon, guys. Yeah. I'm sure there's people that she knows have gone there for a nice holiday as well. And as she said at the start, and yes, someone has voluntarily gone, but they were also given a lot of money to go as well, £3,000 as well. So that is that's an important point to highlight as well. So Alistair Keir, thank you so much for the £5 super chat. You didn't need to do that. Funds for you doing this live event even under the weather. Yeah, I mean, it's stupid. I was literally fine at PMQs, guys, and it's just turned on its head. So Joe Lefty, thank you so much for that super chat as well, that 499 super chat. Get yourself some Alka-Syner. Honestly, I will be fine the next day. I've taken some paracetamol. Literally, next day I will wake up completely fine. I can assure you. Normally, a good night's sleep is what will fix it. So it's just a really bad migraine is what it is, guys. But honestly, that's very kind of both of you. Thank you both for those super chats. It's really nice of you. Don't forget, there's lots of the new emojis that you can play about with, guys, as well. If you haven't already played about with them, feel free to do so as well. But yeah, just going back to Kimmy there saying, so do you has anyone ever considered going on holiday to Rwanda? Do you know anyone that's actually gone on holiday to Rwanda? If you can, please let me know. Really interested to know that, if that's true. Here she is spouting more derogatory here as well. I know.
Taken us a long time to get to this point. There have been so many obstacles put in the way of the legislation. I'm pleased that we've finally seen, one person going to Rwanda. Yes, this was under the voluntary scheme, but this also shows the point about Rwanda not being safe to be untrue because people are volunteering to go. The scheme is working, as we've seen with the comments from the Irish government as well. This is something that we need to do in order to help police our borders.
Do you know what would be the most horrific thing to happen? Do you know what would be absolutely horrific, guys? And it would be horrific. Like, from a tragedy, but also from a political point of view. Imagine that volunteer went to Rwanda, right? And then something happened to that volunteer in Rwanda. Now, just pause and just think about that. You know, that one person who volunteered to go, right? And everybody else who was forced, but the one that volunteered to go, something happened to that person. And it would be absolutely devastating. But I feel like that the only time that people take things seriously is when there's tragedy. And I generally, I'm not wishing death upon the person who's choosing to go at all. But if it was to happen, I hope that the media blows it up in the face of the Conservatives and this government, to say, you did this to this person, you threw money at this person to send them there, and now that person's no longer here because no longer there, is in Rwanda, has disappeared, or something horrible has happened to them because you guys implemented this policy, this inhumane, vile policy. But that's how that's what I feel like anyway, talking about it. I can't tell you how much I appreciate this person. This morning, the UK Home Office revealed its horrific attack on asylum seekers, releasing a video of its enforcement staff detaining people in their homes before sending them to Rwanda. This is fascist nonsense, not in Scotland's name. Absolutely. Take it away, my dear.
Mr. Speaker, it is hard to know where to start with this complete and utter drivel. This minister comes here today proud of this tawdry, pathetic, self-defeating piece of fascist nonsense. The Tories, they don't like it, but Mr. Speaker, it is true. And I will explain to them why. Because the Home Office have put out Mr. Speaker, they don't like the truth. The Home Office has issued a promo video this morning of people being detained, and it absolutely turns my stomach. A government that glorifies its state-sponsored people trafficking plans as it cuffs people and takes them out their beds to be sent to another country against their will. It is sickening, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, these plans are damaging to our society, to our economy, to the people who need care, to the people who want to love, live and study here. Universities are up in arms about their cuts to student numbers. It makes absolutely no sense. The draft rules that the government have issued on adults and risk in immigration detention were released this week. But instead of action on the very serious recommendations of the Brookhouse inquiry, the Home Office is instead doubling down on their policy of indefinite detention. And Labour are going along with all of this. Shame on them. Mr. Speaker, far from what the Minister said, small boat arrivals are up this year. Rwanda is no deterrent because none of the other policies that they have had have proved as a deterrent. And the thousands of people who they want to send have disappeared, never to be seen again. And who can really blame them, Mr. Speaker, if they're going to be plucked from their beds and taken away by ministers and sent to countries against their will? Indeed, who can blame them? And the risk also is that these people will end up being exploited because they have gone into hiding. They will be exploited, they will be trafficked, they will be vulnerable. Why is the Minister not acknowledging the impact that this policy will have on vulnerable people? And finally, Mr. Speaker, if it is indeed the case that the person that they sent to Rwanda has not been granted refugee status in this country, why are they not being returned to their country of origin? Is it perhaps that that country is actually unsafe? And if that is true, why weren't they given refugee status here in the first place?
Absolutely great speech. Absolutely great speech. I mean, yeah, just adding more really to it of just how inhumane this is, guys. It really is. Yeah, she used the F word and they don't like it, and I've got to take our hat off to it. And I was generally surprised when I watched the clip. I was shocked, actually. I was generally shocked that the speaker didn't make her retract the comment in any way, because I thought that would have been a word that they don't accept in the House of Commons, but apparently they do. So, but no, yeah, she was allowed to make that comment. Not directly on Rwanda, but for those who didn't watch PMQs earlier, Mr. Jonathan Gullis decided to Tried to be the Mr. Know-it-all as well earlier.
So Jonathan Gullis not only failing to understand the meaning of simple words like removed and forcefully, but also failing to understand his own government's policy. Bless his little cotton socks.
We can see the Rwanda deterrent is working, and we've now deported our first illegal migrants. But unsurprisingly, Labour just don't care.
So he's been given £3,000 to make his way entirely voluntarily to Rwanda, having had his application in this country fail, which puts him in precisely no categories currently occupied by the people who are supposed to be due for deportation to Rwanda.
Yeah, so this is the crazy thing, right? This is absolutely crazy. Just remember that, right? This person had their asylum application rejected. So what happens normally when their asylum application gets rejected? Well, they get sent back to their country of origin, right? Now, if that country of origin is not safe, then what do you do? This is where Rwanda comes in. Now, obviously, we don't know the specific details of this person's case. But if it's entirely possible that the country that person came from is indeed a safe country, and they could have sent them back to that country, and instead offered this person the money to go to Rwanda instead, this person's obviously taken that opportunity. So we have paid this person who may or may not, we don't know the answer, so we can only speculate, that this person who's volunteered to go to Rwanda could have been sent back to his or her country of origin, because it may or may not have been deemed a safe place, and that would not have cost us £3,000 to do so. Yeah, so last one I'll do on Rwanda, and then we'll switch over to a bit on Gaza here. So this is Joe Corbyn. It's £3,000 value for money. Damien Green says people now accept Rwanda. People now accept Rwanda as a safe country. Sarah Creasy says, I'm embarrassed for Damien. I don't know why this would happen 36 hours before we have local elections. People can see through this gimmick. Not the polls are seemingly, some polls still indicate that some Conservative voters are happy with this policy.
Secretary Yvette Cooper has called it an extortionate pre-election gimmick, because the story did come out yesterday exclusively in The Sun. So my opening question to the panel, starting with you, Damien, is it value for money?
Yes, because if we can persuade people who don't have a legal right to be in this country to go voluntarily, then that's cheaper than having to enforce. We have to enforce as well, and that's what will happen over the rest of the summer. Now we've got the Rwanda bill through, and I think the most significant thing, I agree one person isn't that significant in the wider scheme of things, but I agree with Kemi Badenoch, who you had in your headlines, that the significant thing here is that people accept now that Rwanda is a safe country to send former failed asylum seekers to.
Who says this? Just because you say it's a safe country, just because you pass a law saying it's a safe country, does not make it a safe country. I've stated this on my channel. Max has stated this on this channel. So many people have stated it on their YouTube channels. Politicians, sensible politicians, have stated it on this channel. Just because you state it's a safe country does not make it a safe country. Let's be very clear about this. And for those who watched Question Time last Thursday, they literally had someone on there asking the idiot Conservative, I don't remember his name because I've got a giant migraine, and he basically said about a friend or a colleague of his came from Congo, from the Democratic Republic of Congo, literally next door to him, and both countries could be on the verge of war because of the tensions that are building up between the two nations. And he was asking that if his friend or whatever who came from Congo, would he be sent to Rwanda because of the sent to Rwanda under this, and under the current policy he would be, even though he's at risk of this. It's just mind-boggling that they tried to paint this as some kind of this is worth that this is worth it. This is not worth the money. It really is not worth the money. That money could be going to so many better things, guys. It really, really could.
And that's quite significant. That might be quite a significant point to make if somebody tries to go through the courts again.
Right. I mean, do you think it's value for money, Stella, or a rip-off for the taxpayer? £3,000 paid to this one asylum seeker to go voluntarily, but saving on, presumably, hotel accommodation.
I'm embarrassed for Damien, who I know was a former immigration minister and will know just what a bad deal this actually is. Because it's not just the £3,000 this person who had been through the asylum system and found not to have a reasonable claim to stay in the UK. It's also paying for their accommodation for 5 years for free as well. And, you know, I don't know why this happened 36 hours before we have local elections and mayoral elections in this country. The British people can see through a gimmick and they can see that this is a con. This is a hugely expensive process. It doesn't prove anything about the safety of Rwanda. It proves that you can pay people. You pay for somebody who had failed to prove their claim of persecution. That's completely different to what you're talking about, which is sending people who are very vulnerable. We've also heard that a lot of the people who might be eligible for this scheme have gone missing. The government knows nowhere where they are. They have no idea
that's
about...
for the separate scheme to this voluntary...
But so the idea that we're then going to send victims of torture to Rwanda who haven't yet had their claims processed. This is the thing we're talking about.
Damien, do you
and this is £370 million worth of public money. None of this is going to stop the boats, because you want to stop the boats, go after the people setting them off the traffic.
She's not wrong, guys. She's not wrong. Yeah, it's just it's ridiculous. It's an absolute ridiculous policy. That is for sure. Let's have a quick look, see what you guys are saying in the chat. Knowing this mob, they probably gave the poor guy a sombrio so he would fit in, says Akismad. Yeah, because if Akismad, if you haven't seen, I didn't really wanted to bring that promo video up. I could have had it part of the group, but I didn't. So apologies, Akismad, if you haven't seen it. I don't think it's worth watching, to be fair. Exactly, Bank, a reason why I said Scotland will find it more international support for its independence. Yeah, it will get there. It will get there. Scotland will be freed. It's just a case. It's a matter of when, not if. Casper Sugan taking a blank will look you up. Give me a minute. So MPs called the Tories fascists, but not liars. Yeah, I know, it's stupid. Small man syndrome, Gullis. Yep, Gullis is a small man, that's for sure. Cover your eyes, peeps. Yeah. Right, now I will get it. She's brilliant, great question, stating the facts. Yeah, she was earlier. Yeah, absolutely great SMP. Really, really, really good stuff. Thanks for your comments, guys. Really appreciate it. Apologies if I'm not getting to them all. I am obviously not feeling 100% today. Now, I've got so many on Gaza. So this one here, guys, we're going to start with this one. If you haven't already, guys, please hit the like button. It'd be great. Appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video, and subscribe because it does help support the channel. The gang is here, by the way. The gang is here. Pingu's here. Ollie's here. Lava Lamp's here. Cash W's hiding behind them. So the orb is formed. The lava lamp is formed. Sorry, the orb is there in all its glory. Do not switch off. It keeps doing that. So I know, it's very annoying. Anyway, let's. So they are there. So any of you guys do all that is greatly appreciated. So this one that we're going to start with Gaza is from Anthony Blinken. This was just a few hours ago. Speaking to the media about. Obviously, he's had some talks there. Let's hear what he has to say.
What we discussed today, among other things, was getting this agreement, which involves an immediate ceasefire, hostages home, and then working to build on it. And that's what we talked about today. So let's see if we can get this done. Look, I think this is something that the whole world is watching. And if Hamas actually purports to care about the Palestinian people and wants to see an immediate alleviation of their suffering, it will take the deal. If it doesn't, I think that's further proof that it doesn't care a bit about the Palestinian people.
Statements undermine incentives for Hamas to take the deal?
Look, I think that, again, all I can tell you is what we're focused on is getting the deal and understanding that that's something that will give us an opportunity to build on. Hamas will have to make its own judgments, but the most immediate thing that can happen to actually improve the situation for Palestinians and also create a dynamic that moves this in a different direction is the ceasefire, the hostage deal. Let's see what they do.
I don't think, I want to be clear, this is not completely on Hamas. This is also on Israel as well. Now, he's painting a picture here that this is all on Hamas. This is not the case. I have heard some conflicting reports as well that Hamas had offered all the hostages released from their point of view for a permanent ceasefire from Israel, which was rejected. I don't know how true that is, but I had heard reports of that, and I've heard some other ones too. Now, I don't know if it's the case. I do believe that Israel would want to keep this war going anyway, because Benjamin Netanyahu knows that if this war ends, he knows he's going to end up. He knows that people are going to demand an election. They're going to demand for his head. The public will want that because of what happened on October the 7th. He's the prime minister. He failed to protect the people of Israel. So he will have to face the consequences of that. That's going to come one way or another. 91 Leeds, good to see you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. And One Angry Pagan there as well. Don't know how much longer I'm going to keep going, guys, but I'll do a couple more. Excuse me, on Gaza as well. But I'll have to keep an eye out and see how things go. I'm not gonna not that one, but so as you guys know as well, there's been lots of protests taking place, all not just in in America, around a lot of certain campuses, and it seems like they are trying to kind of, in a way, shut down free speech, while and a part of me is not feeling like shut down free speech. Now, I don't have the full context because I've got a massive migraine, but I wanted to play this here. This is from the New York mayor speaking at a news conference in response to the pro-Palestinian protests at Columbia University. So lots of universities are rising up. There's lots of people making these protests in support of Palestine, disrupting obviously what is supposed to be a very important time for many students with exams and whatnot. And I don't like the rhetoric and what the tone and what this man says about what's happening.
And I know that there are those who are attempting to say, well, the majority of people may have been students. You don't have to be the majority to influence and co-op an operation. That is what this is about. And so if we want to play the word police, you could do so. I want to play the New York City police, where we're going to protect our city from those who are attempting to do what is happening globally. There is a movement to radicalize young people, and I'm not going to wait until it's done and all of a sudden acknowledge the existence of it. This is a global problem that young people are being influenced by those who are professionals at radicalizing our children. And
now what he's talking about here, he's talking about he's trying to paint this picture that the world is being radicalized to hate Israel, to hate Jews. And the reason that this has been happening, and this is the problem that we have, is the reason that is being happening is because people are seeing on social media how Israel are treating people within the Gaza Strip. That is what is creating this perception that unfortunately, now us here, we have common sense. We know that Jewish communities, Jewish people who have absolutely nothing to do with what's going on in Israel, we know that they have nothing to do with any of this, and we know that the target that we want, it's the Israeli government, is the grief that we have with. However, there are some people out there who want to take it further than that, and that this kinds of speeches speaks logic to older generations, because they're painting this picture that they're trying to change the perception of all Jews, of all Israelis, into this perception that they are sort of thing, which I don't like at all, because they're not being very clear about what's actually. He's not being very clear about what's actually happening, the reasons behind this. Now, some of these people, some of these protesters, are obviously not doing what they are not doing things in the confines of the law, and absolutely that's right to point out. However, people are not being given the full context when these people are speaking on mainstream media news, and I think that's a really important point to highlight.
Now, I'm not going to allow that to happen as the mayor of the city of New York. So the men and women of the New York City Police Department should be proud of yourself. At the request of Columbia University, after speaking with them throughout the week, at their request and their acknowledgement that outside agitators were on their grounds training and really co-opting this movement, at their request, we went in and conducted an operation to allow Columbia University to remove those who have turned the peaceful protest into a place where anti-Semitism and anti-Israel attitudes were pervasive.
I want to also be very clear. Now, I will not show you the clips, but there were clips showing the police legitimately. I can't remember if it was New York or another university, showing specifically deliberately attacking the protesters and apprehending them forcefully on them. It's very, very important. I wanted to make that point as well. This is solidarity with the campus student encampment in Gaza. I'm not going to play the sound, but you can see, obviously, it's a lot more peaceful, but obviously they're being able to speak freely, speak their minds at the in Manchester there, at Hard Off campus there. We're not going to listen to George Galloway. We're better than that. But I want to show this one here. So this one here is even after the mass coordinate. This was 7 hours ago, so obviously things are different there. So this is their efforts to crack down on student encampments for Gaza in the New York police department last night. Foldholm students had bodily risen up and started an encampment of their own. So let's listen to a bit of this one here. So you see they got the tents set up and they're making it very clear. Gaza solidarity encampment there. So yeah, this is very cause for concerns, that's for sure. All eyes on Gaza. Yeah, they're not letting this go. That is for sure. This is I'm not. I'll play.
I am Hala, a Palestinian from Gaza. I can't believe that this is the 7th month, and I'm still talking about the atrocious crimes the Israeli occupation is committing against the Palestinians in Gaza and the unfolding genocide, killing more than 40,000 Palestinians in the last 7 months, killing more than 15,000 children, and the world is still allowing this to happen. Let me show you what's happening now in Newcastle University. It's encampment. The sittings are starting. It's unfolding now. People are coming and they are calling for the end of the Israeli genocide over Gaza. Unbelievable amount of crimes are still happening until now in Gaza. Until the moment we're talking to, we don't know when this will be ending. However, one thing I know is that students all over the world are now moving and they're not allowing it again. They will not allow this generation to hold what the other generations have accepted, a colonial world coming from the West to colonize our countries and make these crimes against our people. Join us now in Newcastle University to support our demand for ceasefire now, end of the genocide over Gaza, end of the Israeli occupation over Palestine, and end of the complicity of the Newcastle University with the Israeli occupation on Palestine. We're in front of NUSO at the Newcastle University, just camping here. Bring your tents and come here to stay the night and do the encampments with us. Students of Newcastle University are calling upon all students of the United Kingdom to raise up and call for end of the occupation, end of Israeli genocide over Gaza, and immediate and permanent ceasefire right now. Open your own encampments and join us for the end of this genocide. We're all
And this is happening. This is a massive rally cry from a generation that are seeing what's happening, and they're making it very, very clear here. No worries, Billy. Thanks for popping by. I greatly appreciate it. I'm not going to play the full thing, but here again, this is in Greece. This is outside. People staging a massive rally in the Greek capital of Athens in solidarity with Palestinian people of Gaza to condemn the Israeli genocide there. So that was just a few hours ago. That clip was uploaded here. And I'm going to show you two nice heartwarming videos, guys. This is a lovely, lovely one here. I really hope you guys like this one. So this is inside Gaza. And this is students of Gaza extend their appreciation to American students for their solidarity during the war. They express profound thanks for over 120 university campuses across the United States, as well as numerous demonstrations in Europe, for standing in solidarity with their cause. I hope you guys like this, because this really warmed my heart.
احنا اهل غزة بننبسط كثير لما نشوف طلاب امريكا واقفين معانا وحاسين فينا وجينا نشكركم بطريقتنا البسيطة. بتمنى تستقبلوها بحب. شكرا كولومبيا. شكرا أوروبي. شكرا سينسفور. شكرا ملاشة. شكرا ييل. شكرا UCLA. شكرا students for justice in Palestine.
Very nice. Very, very nice. Very nice thing to see there, guys. I hope you guys really enjoyed that. That was a very lovely, a lovely one to say the least. So just one, I've got one last video for you guys, and this one's going to really warm your hearts if that wasn't enough before we wrap things up. Just going to have a quick look at you guys in the chat. Good to see you, Solari the Cat. Unfortunately, I got one more video, but luckily you'll see a very nice one coming up, I can assure you. Yeah, I'm glad you like that, Ben. It was a lovely one from them. They are breaking university rules according to the university. I don't know that the full. If that is the case, then there's obviously understandables for them, but I can't say what if they are or not, obviously. But if they are, as some kid, then there obviously there's some reasons for that. Not they're radicalized, they are protesting the genocide in the middle of Europe. Yeah. Manchester Unity Press has just set up camp outside, says Ben Shaw. Land of the gun carriers. In less than 10 years, all Germans will be saying Sagi hell, just remember that. Watching US protest crackdowns looks like what happened with the Vietnam War protest crackdowns. I might make sure that I learned that bit of history, says one angry pagan. At least when Blinken talks to you, you know it's BS, says Ben Shaw. Yeah. So yeah, this last video I've got for you guys. Gang is here, just so you know. The gang is here. Obviously I've not been feeling. I am starting to feel a little bit better, but I am gonna have a short one. But I've got one more video for you guys. But just before I do that, I just want to say, guys, if you want to be a YouTube member, you can be a YouTube member for as little as 99B. Being a YouTube member makes a massive difference. Financially supports me in the work that I do here. It makes such a massive difference. I can't tell you how much you guys, how I've got to have over 100 YouTube members is incredibly. I'm very humbled to have so many of you guys, considering that this channel has only been going for just over a year and a month or so since I started it, and reaching over nearly 1,700 subscribers. I think I'm roughly around, and it's not 1,700, 1,170 subscribers. Sorry, getting a bit ahead of myself. To have the amount of people that support me, it's greatly appreciated. So I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who has financially supported me in any way, shape or form, whether it's memberships, super chats, or buying me a coffee, or being a Patreon supporter. Thank you to everyone who's done that. It really does mean the world to me. It really, really does. And just by being a membership for just 99p, you get access to custom emojis. And obviously, if you comment on any of my videos, I do respond to your comments, respond to them as well. So I just want to say thank you to all those who have done them. If you're not 100% sure about the membership, you could also consider supporting me on Patreon, where you also get access to exclusive content on there as well. And a final reminder for the members who haven't seen it already, guys, please check on the membership tab. The videos are still available to you. After tomorrow, I will have to remove them. There's one from the exclusive one from Patreon and Rumble that are both available for YouTube members. All YouTube members, do check them out. Tomorrow is the last day they are going to be there. I will have to take them down because they are exclusives to Patreon and Rumble. So if you want to see those videos, you need to check them out tomorrow or tonight. You have been warned. So if you miss out on them, you will have to obviously go on to Rumble and Patreon to see them. But just want to remind you one last time for that. So thank you to everyone who's been here. Greatly appreciate it. Let's go to this last one, and this is a nice heartwarming one. I'm just gonna see if I can adjust the video because this picture's a lot bigger than I expected. Okay, I'm going to go to this one instead, just so you can see the full picture. So, for those who coming up, there are the European elections, and this is going to remind you all, for those who are coming up and obviously getting to cast their votes at the European elections. So I'll just read the description before we watch this. EU and dual citizens living in the UK remember to vote in the European Parliament elections on the 6th and 9th of June. Most countries allow either postal vote or voting in person at the Embassy or Consulate, and the details are there. This is the tweet from Best for Britain for those who want to know. Hope you guys enjoy this because this is pretty powerful.
Moi, je garde ça dans le fond de mon cœur depuis des années. J'y pense tous les matins, mais j'en parle pas. Eh bien, Robin, c'est que je ne devrais pas être ici aujourd'hui. J'aurais dû être morte le 17 juin 1940.
Na 21. jsem měla telefon, že nás obsazuje armáda. Což jsme považovali za něco, že to vůbec není možné. To byl takový šok.
How do you feel about what's happened here in Prague?
We hope that we will have again the freedom and our democracy.
J'avais 11 ans quand la guerre a commencé et 12 quand les soldats sont arrivés. Il y en avait partout. Je descends mes démarches avec mon compotier, j'arrive dans le jardin, ta 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 ta. Maman a été tuée sur moi pour me protéger. Vous savez, quand on a 12 ans qu'on soit là avec sa maman morte qui vous protège, on n'oublie pas.
În Timișoara s-a atras în tineret în fața catedralei.
Mijn vader is Auschwitz gestuurd en daar vermoord. En mijn moeder kon mij meegeven in de wetenschap dat ze misschien mij nooit meer terug zou zien. Ik had geen ooms en tantes, dat vond ik wel raar. Ik had ook geen grootouders. Iedereen had grootouders. Ik had niemand.
Non si deve mai dare per scontato la democrazia, ma bisogna sempre sostenerla e proteggerla.
To 17. listopadu, kdy všechno začalo. Byla veliká demonstrace studentů. Policisté napadli demonstranty, zmlátili je. To byl ten moment, kdy začala ta revoluce, takzvaná.
Pēc neatkarības atgūšanas Latvija bija brīva zeme. Cilvēki varēja brīvi izteikt savas domas par demokrātiju.
Ma col muro di Berlino, secondo me, l'emancipazione di tutta l'Europa.
Lieve Suzanne, lieve Suus.
Jsem ráda, že jsi takový, jaký jsi, a za to tě mám moc ráda.
Je weet, ik ben geboren in een jaar dat de wereld in brand stond. Zoiets bepaalt voor een groot deel je leven. Gelukkig ben jij geboren in een tijd van vrede en welvaart.
Pořád si uvědomovat, že ta svoboda a demokracie tady nebyla vždycky. A že o ní můžeme strašně rychle přijít.
bisogna lottarla per ottenerla. Bisogna sempre stare vigili e lottare.
Si je peux laisser un message avant de partir, vivez la démocratie. Entendez-vous les uns les autres.
Passt gut auf die Demokratie auf, wenn ich nicht mehr bin.
Je to na mě a je to na nás, na naší generaci. V Evropě.
Make sure if you are from Europe, if you have dual citizenship, make sure you cast your vote for the European Parliament elections. Number 3, simply just look for the Twitter handle Best for Britain if you want that clip. Number 3. I'm not gonna be able to do it after this because I need to rest because I'm not feeling 100%, as you guys know. Guys, I hope you really enjoyed that last one. I thought that was a very lovely video for you guys. I want to say a massive thank you to everyone who's come here tonight. I do apologise, it's not I wasn't at my best today. I will, obviously we got tomorrow, I'll have Regan's News Round for you guys. I will have the content up and running as normal. Got the usual content dropping tomorrow. I've already recorded it, but obviously I need to get recording done for the weekend and whatnot. But the gang is here, and I would have gone a little bit longer, obviously, as you guys know, but I'm not feeling 100%. So, but yeah, thank you everybody for coming by. Thank you for the super chats for those who've given them, much appreciate it. Thank you all for being for those who have been YouTube members and have renewed their memberships. Thank you so much for them. I really appreciate it. I hope you guys found yourself informed and found today's live stream informative and helpful to you. I will have Regan's News Round. If I don't record it, I may live stream it instead. But we'll see. I may do a live stream instead of a premiere tomorrow. But we'll see how things go, guys. But I'll be fine tomorrow. I can assure you guys. It's just I just need a good sleep. And I've taken paracetamol already, so I should be all right. But yeah, thank you all for coming. Take care of yourselves. Have a great week. All the usual stuff. But I just have one more thing I need you guys to do before you go. If you haven't already, please hit the like button. We greatly appreciate it. Share it across social media so others are notified of this video. And subscribe, because it really does help support the channel. And if you want to go one step further and financially support me and the work that I do here, you can do so by becoming a YouTube member for as little as 99p. Or join me on Rumble or Patreon for exclusive content there as well. So thank you all so much for watching, and I hope to catch you all very, very soon.